about to witness a seismic event. Now, let the party begin.
Your healthy radio addiction starts now.
Hollywood's Motorcycle Madhouse on iHeartRadio.
And welcome everyone to this edition of Motorcycle Madhouse. How's everyone doing out there? We brought in Facebook tonight. Let's hope that damn thing is working over there on Facebook, man. How's everything going out there in the chat room right now? It looks lively as usual out there. Let's see who we got in the chat room right now. We got Mr. Perfect. How you doing, man? We got New York. How you doing? Well, it does look like it is going on over in freaking YouTube. And hopefully it's going on over in Facebook right now. But we ain't going to stop and check it out over there. If it ain't work, it ain't freaking working. But today we got a bunch of stuff coming on. We're going to be talking about Harley Davidson. We're also going to be bringing in an iron worker and talking about some of the stuff that's been going on. But let's get to some of the news today. Wilmington officer arrested. As you know, I'm going to be doing freaking every day. I'm going to bring in the thing where the cops get arrested and shit. Since you know everybody out there loves picking on the one percenters. Anyway, he was arrested for in a standoff, by the way, for $22,000 in an embezzlement, and he stole it from his own police department. The officer involved in a 10-hour standoff near Newport earlier this month was charged Tuesday with stealing more than $20,000. Master Corporal Michael Ballard, the 14th year department veteran who was holed up in his home near Newport while police locked down his neighborhood, is accused of stealing from a police department account for money raised from recycled firing range shell casings. So he's taking the shell casings and freaking reselling the metal, it looks like. So anyway, and the one percenters are bad. By the way, in the bottom right hand corner, you will see a Save the Patch type of deal. It says your group, your state. Now that has to do with the Mongols fighting their patch case down in California. If you've seen Jesse Ventura, man, and I've been reading what's been coming out of that trial, he gave that prosecutor some shit, man. Let me tell you, man. He whooped the hell out of him on the stand, made him look stupid. They didn't like it too much, if you know what I mean. Anyway, we're going to keep on going, and you know what? There are some freaks on freaking Reddit. What is going on in this country right now? I guess it's called No Nut November. Yes, you heard it right, No Nut November. This November, thousands of men have attempted to abstain from ejaculation. What in the hell are we raising? Are you kidding me? Oh my God. The reasons why are somewhat unclear, the article goes. The No Nut November community on the popular Reddit site has 16,500 subscribers. Holy shit. 16,500 guys don't want to nut. Now, there's something going on in America right now. The drinking water, stay away from it. Anyway, according to the description of the group, those who have found it hard to go even a few days without masturbating attempt the challenge The dependency. Oh my God. Anyway, some do it just for the memes, while others do it for actual self-improvement. How is that self-improvement, man? You gotta get the stress out. Get it out, man. What else? What? And anyway, No Nut November, guys. I guess this is a new thing among millennials. And finally, man, have you ever wished you go to the ATM and it just shoots shit out at you? Well, in Houston, I guess instead of $10 bills, $100 bills were being shot out because they were, oh my God, they put it in the wrong spot. You know, why can't this shit ever happen to me? It never happens to me, this kind of good shit, man. But anyway, that's your weird-ass news for this weekend. But we're going to keep on going, and we're going to be good news out of Pittsburgh. I guess one of the officers in that brawl has had his ass put on leave or some shit like that. But let's take a look real quick, huh?
Information about the status of the officers shown on this surveillance video brawling with motorcycle club members. The mayor told Target 11 investigator Rick Earl all 4 officers have been reassigned, but Rick is live with why officials now say that is not the case. Rick?
Yes, Peggy, that's right. The mayor told me earlier today that those officers had been reassigned, but this afternoon the mayor's spokesman issued a clarification saying only one of those officers has now been reassigned. Are you concerned that they're still on duty? Should they be taken off duty?
They're on different duty depending on their involvement.
They're not on. They've been removed from street duty.
I'll let the chief answer directly on what specific duties they have. Yeah,
but they have. It has been addressed.
Yes.
The mayor said this morning that the undercover officers involved in that barroom brawl with members of the Pagans had been reassigned after 2 of the Pagans filed civil lawsuits accusing the officers of instigating the fight and using excessive force. One officer is caught on camera repeatedly punching a Pagan in the head. But this afternoon, the mayor's spokesman told Target 11 that only one undercover officer had been reassigned within the Vice unit. They would not identify that officer. The 4 officers had said they were in the bar conducting a drug investigation. But attorneys for the Pagans say the officers had been drinking for 5 hours and provoked the fight. The FBI has launched an investigation into possible civil rights violations. In the meantime, the mayor says he still has a lot of questions.
Not only on the use of force and whether it was warranted, but also whether the officer's cover was blown, and if it was, why they were still there, the amount of alcohol involved, and the actions of the officers at the scene.
And tonight, the mayor is waiting for a final report from the Office of Municipal Investigations before deciding if any disciplinary action is warranted against those 4 undercover officers.
You think disciplinary action is warranted, guys? You all seen the same video that I did, you know, the mayor did, and they were refusing to give evidence, tapes, videos, all that shit to the district attorney. So, you know, the FBI, for ever bother Italians, you know, New York would know about that one, are investigating it now. Oh, by the way, Dan Thompson, his kid, has a new sticker business. So if you guys are looking for that kind of shit, to go ahead and take a look at Dan Thompson. You can get a hold of him on Bikers and Brotherhoods, the group that we got. But right now, we're going to be talking Harley Davidson. Let's bring in our guest, man. Let's get him on the line, shall we? Let's see here. We're going to get him online.
What's up, Hollywood?
Sinister, how you doing, my man?
How are you, bro?
I'm doing pretty good, my man. Doing pretty good. Figured let's talk some Harley Davidson, and you're a steel worker, and I wanted to get your thoughts on the steel tariffs and what you guys think about that right now. And as you know, the reason why this means so much to me is because my old man, he actually worked at Thompson's in Franklin Park, Thompson Steel, I believe, before they went out of business. I think I got family. I think I got people at Nelson Steel right now. But
okay.
tell me your thoughts on this deal, because I just had an interview with somebody overseas in Germany. And by the way, man, the reason why that sounded so screwed up in that interview, because she was 5,000 miles away, and I think they're using World War II type of technology still. But
I hear you.
what's your thoughts on this tariff that was put in place and the way Harley Davidson's acting?
You know, with all the tear-offs that are getting put out there now, this is helping all the steel industry. This steel industry needed that because they were shipping in so much junk. They were bringing in all this garbage steel, and they were flooding the markets. And when they flooded the markets like that, it killed our steel industry. With that NAFTA and that free trade agreement, there was nothing free about it, man. They were turning around and sending all their stuff here. We would send our goods and our stuff over there, and then nobody was buying any of our stuff in the United States. It would sit on their shelves or it got put to the side. You know, now that he put all this tear-offs out there, you know, now they're thinking, oh, man, it's going to cost us a lot of money to bring back, you know, all their goods over here now, and now they're stuck with all their stuff, you know?
Right.
The steel mill industry right now is picking up because he put those tear-offs on. You know, these companies, China and different places out there where these companies are running away from these unions and trying to get cheaper labor and stuff like that. That's why they're all running to all these different places in Mexico, Brazil, for cheaper pricing, you know. They got sweatshops out there, and these guys are doing whatever they can to lessen the buck, you know. Here in the United States, you know, we make product. It's quality steel. You know, they make good steel, and we need the steel mills out here, especially out here in Indiana. We have all these steel mills. There's 4 major ones out here, and we need them. This is, you know, we go to war or anything happens, you need your steel mills to make the bullets, to make the tanks, to make our stuff for, you know, airplanes, everything out here. You know, our steel mills go down, and everything goes downhill.
Right,
you know?
right. Now, what's your thoughts on Harley Davidson specifically? Now, they've been going and having a tough time for, it has to be, 6 years that they've been in a downward spiral? Don't quote me on that, but, you know, they've been on a real downward spiral, and now all of a sudden they're crying and whining using the steel industry as the patsy.
No, I don't think it's so much a steel industry. I think you hit it right on the head when you told the lady in Germany over there, and you said, you know, they started building these Harleys for these lawyers and doctors, and building these Harleys that cost, you know, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, and the average Joe like me couldn't turn around and just walk in and buy a $50,000 Harley, you know, and then you know, it's just expensive. Then you got all these other different brands out there now. You know, like you said, Indians coming up, and if you look at the new Indians, they're showing these how do you want to say like GPS systems on them, where it's self-test everything. And these bikes are a little bit less. You know, they're comfortable riding bikes. They're nice. They're American made too. A lot of people I know out there are not only just buying them, but they're buying, you know, Honda, they're buying Suzuki, they're buying all these other, you know, brand bikes. You know, they're comfortable rides, got GPS, got stereo systems on them, a lot cheaper, paid $20,000 for them, you know, brand new, and they give them a good warranty with them. Mm-hmm. You know, they tell them, as long as you own this bike, you bring it here, you get a free oil change. You know, these guys, that's just the way it's happening. Harley, you know, is coming out with a lot of stuff, and it's expensive. You know, even my bike I got a Harley Davidson, and I got, you know, my little rice burner too. But I break down a lot. I like my Harley. I like to listen to them pipes, you know, and run. And I break down a lot, you know, and I got to turn around, and I'm not real, how do you want to say, real mechanical at fixing my Harley. You know, but if you grab me with my Suzuki, I'll rip that thing apart and rip it in pieces and build it back together. But my Harley, I mess with it. I'll tear off the wheels, you know, mess with stuff here and there. YouTube and Google are like your best friend. because you sit there and you type it in and you try to figure out what you're doing and how you're doing it. And you got guys who do have Harleys that come over and help you out, you know, and that's been a good thing. But Harley's expensive. Every time I went to buy a part, and HD means $100. You know that.
Right. Now, where do you think the union bosses are following? Falling on this. What side of this argument you think they're going on, man? You think they're loving the tariffs, or what do you think?
Oh, definitely. All the companies are going to start making out. You're going to see all these companies start going up because, you know, the steel industry is going up. Once the steel industry starts going up, these other companies, they have to buy the steel it's American made. They're going to have to buy it from here, because if they buy it from China or wherever else, they're getting bad steel, and they're paying probably double the price to get that steel over here. So I'm guaranteeing that they're going to buy it from here. These companies, like the steel mills that I'm working for, you know, they're making money now. You know, they're actually going to start making a profit, and you know, hopefully it starts bringing people back to work. You know, there's a lot of people that have been laid off and, you know, been hurt by it. I've watched these steel mills, you know, in the last 20 years. I was at one. It went down 2 times. And I was stuck out in the street, you know, unemployment, because the steel mills went down. And that NAFTA had a lot to do with it, you know, and that hurt us, you know, and I couldn't believe they did it. And, you know, like you said, Trump did. He does some goofy stuff. But he's pretty smart with the business sense, you know, and he started putting them tariffs and stuff in there and started helping the American people and bringing them back up. He's running America like it's a business, and that's what they needed. This is what the United States needs.
Right. Well, you know what? It's quite sad when, you know, because when I seen the reports coming out that Harley's going to try to circumvent and go around, you know, having to build the bikes in the United States, and when that CEO tried to come out and spin it, that, well, it's never been about made in the USA. It's been about freedom and all that crap. You know how they try to spin that stuff. But then, well, the next thing is, well, we're just going to do it for bikes over there. But Harley Davidson in the 80s, and a lot of the fans out of the show, they're young kids. They weren't around during this time. But in the 80s, Reagan actually came out and put a 40% something tariff on import motorcycles from other countries and kept Harley Davidson alive. And it was, you know, the dirty, greasy biker that kept Harley in business. And then comes the mid-90s with the rubs, and next thing you know, ever since then, it's been shot through the roof with pricing.
Right.
And if you walk into a Harley Davidson dealer, and I challenge anybody to do this, walk in there and, you know, with all your tattoos, stuff like that, they rather have a doctor or dentist walk in there, them salespeople, than a regular working man.
Oh, definitely. And that's pretty much anywhere, though. That's pretty much anywhere. If you walk in and you're looking raggedy, and you know, my mom was a steel worker for many, many years. My mom did 30 years inside the steel mill. And I remember her telling me she went to this car lot, and she still had her work clothes on. And in the steel mill, they wear these greens. You know, they're flame retardant greens. And she said her face was all dirty. She goes, Mark, I go up there, I'm looking at these fans.
Hey, Mark.
These fans are like $40,000.
Hey, Mark, let me cut in real quick. We got Good Time Charlie in the house over at Facebook from BIC Radio. Good Time is in the house. Everybody, if you guys haven't checked out Good Time Charlie, he is a legend. He's a freaking mentor to anybody that's in this business, and he's the man. But go ahead, Sinister.
So, you know, she went in there, and they wouldn't even talk to her because the way she looked. So I imagine if you go inside of a Harley place, if I went in there with dirty clothes on and looked raggedy, I'm sure they're going to look at you like you don't have money to spend in here, buddy. This place is too much for you, you know?
Right.
And it's sad. It's sad because it was the working man, the blue-collar man who bought and supported Harley Davidson all those years, you know, and he turned their backs on them.
Right.
So, you know, they basically stuck the knife to themselves. you know?
Right.
There's still a lot of people out there that love Harley because that's all they had all their life is Harley Davidson. But, you know, now you got to swallow this one, man. It's a tough one. But keep your old Harleys, you know, stay working on them. But you have to go out there. Like you said, there's Harleys out there now that you can buy them off a lot cheaper because the doctor rode it for 4,000 miles and then now he doesn't want to ride it no more. He's done. Well, buy that Harley because it's cheaper there, you know.
Right. Now, what local are you with?
I'm local with 150 operating engineers. We're inside the steel mill, LTV, inland. It's all actually considered ArcelorMittal, and then there's U.S. Steel. We're inside all these steel mills. Actually, 150, we're operating engineers. We do all the heavy equipment, running cranes to reprocessing all their steel, reprocessing all their slag steel that they get out of the furnaces and stuff, and we reprocess it and sell it to guys, that are doing concrete. We mix it up in concrete trucks. Different kinds of materials go for different stuff, Sometimes they sell it back to the steel mills after we reprocess everything,
Right. Now, I know the local union bosses are probably loving the stuff that Trump's doing, but is your main office, man, are they behind him, or are they still throwing their money to the left?
I want to say, our union is more worried about what's going on. They like the fact that the mills are all picking up because it's putting all our guys back to work too. Especially this time of year, a lot of the guys who work on the outside construction, they have a chance to come inside the mills and work there, for Christmas time and stuff like that. But, I think they're just watching to see how everything's going to go. They're just taking it, day by day. Like our steel mills picked up a lot.
Right.
So I know my company is making buku bucks, and when it comes time for a raise, hopefully, instead of us getting 50 cents, they'll give us a little bit more of a boost. I know the steel workers just landed their contract, and supposedly they're in the $3 range. They just got a raise for the next 3 years or 4 years. It's like $3 every year plus all kinds of other incentive things.
Right.
So they're planning on something that they're going to make a lot of money.
Right. Rock and roll, man. Well, I really appreciate you coming on the show, man, and freaking, Insane Throttle is a huge supporter, as you know, of unions, man. We back them 1,000%. There's nothing better than unions.
We love it. We love it, brother. We love it. Guaranteed. I love you still, Hollywood.
Rock and roll, man.
Yesterday you guys had BD on there, and man, my eyes lit up with him, and Dibs was on there, and it was just amazing. I'd like to see all three of you guys get on the air right there together and just go at it back and forth,
Well, we're going to try.
That'd be an awesome thing.
We're going to try, man. I got to reach out to Good Time Charlie, man. Get him on. You guys will love him. I really love Good Time Charlie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to come down to the studio and sit down there with you.
Hell yeah. Well, December 14th for Neon 1%er, man, we got that benefit, man. I'm going to be up there, and we're going to be doing live. You should be up there coming to party.
You have to put it up, man, so I can see it.
Rock and roll, man.
Post it up, and I'll see everything that we're doing.
It's going to be Friday. It's Friday at 7:30 if you want to come.
What area?
It's up at the state line, man. Right over there by Beloit and South Beloit.
Yeah, I have to find that on my map here. I'm all the way out by Cal City. I don't know if you know where Cal City is.
Oh, man, you're way the hell out there.
Way down south.
Man,
I'm on the south side.
Man, you a south side boy, man. Hey, man, what'd you think about Chuck E. Cheese claiming he was from Chicago, man? Don't that piss you off?
I finally went, when I was trying to figure out what you guys were talking about, that was that bozo I was watching, and I would watch him sometimes, and I was trying to figure out what the hell was wrong with him, if he was retarded or what was going on with him, because he was talking about these bags the other day, some kind of bags, and he was sleeping out in the middle of the desert and sleeping next to his bike and around corners and everything else. And then when I seen be talking about this Chuck E. Cheese. I said, that's that same goofy son of a bitch I seen the other day. I said, what is wrong with that dude? And then I said, that's the guy who wears the Chicago rocker. I go, he comes to Chicago wearing that rocker. I said, they're going to rock it all right. They're going to rip that whole vest off his head.
They're damn right, man.
That dude's dangerous doing that. And he's in what, New Mexico or somewhere down there, crazy state. But I mean, you're rocking Chicago. I don't understand it. I don't. Just wear your jean vest and just travel and do your thing, man. Enjoy life. You're on two wheels.
He's looking
out there, enjoy life, man.
He's looking for attention, man.
He's looking for something. He's one of them prostitutes over there in Halstead, help him out because he's got some brain damage. That dude,
rock and
roll.
There, bro. Well, welcome to the Throttle, man. I really appreciate you coming on the show, man, and being a part of the segment. But we are going to get moving on, Sinister, so I really appreciate it, buddy.
All right, thanks, Hollywood. I love your show, man.
Love you, buddy.
All right, you too, bro.
And that was Sinister, man. And, with Harley Davidson, that is a fact. If you walk into a dealership and you look like my ugly ass, I'm going to be waiting at the back of the line until freaking, the doctors and lawyers and shit like that are taken care of. But let's see who else we got in the freaking, Mr. Perfect. Ant, how you doing? But I know you said not to do it, Ant. I seen your message today. But this is exactly what I think of Chuck E. Cheese's response today.
When I caught you in the gents, playing with part of your body. Now I know not everybody is a wanker like you. And when I pulled up my cuffs, you thought that I was kinky. You pulled out your tinky winky and said, what you gonna do? You've got to reconsider your foolish motion. Put your underpants up off the floor. Jesus Christ. Car waiting. Stop masturbating. Spread your two legs short. I do not accept this!
Only need 2 fingers to work a calculator. What the hell happened to his hand?
Can't grab it. Can't pivot.
I accept that.
I love Chuck E. Cheese.
I love Chuck E. Cheese. Thanks for that, Dan. Anyway, hey, New York, man. He wants to debate you on the 8th, man. I'll let you debate him if you want. Tear his ass up, but he ain't gonna get no time with me. This fucking guy, he's out there, whatever. Anyway, the hotlines are open if you want to call in and say hi. I liked it too. Let's get to some questions here. Again, on your right-hand side, if you guys can start using the hashtag #SaveThePatch, I would really appreciate it. I know all the clubs would too. And if you are out there and you see a confederation throwing a party or something that's open to the public, go and support them, man. That's what's really gonna help out what's going on with this crap out in California. But anyway, when I put this up on Facebook, it was really freaking funny. This cat, let's see here, Steve Cast, not those stained Mongols take their colors. Now, when I looked him up, and he was full of IO guys, but I did get a call from Iron Order saying this guy wasn't a part of them, whatever. But at the same time, then you get this other guy that they tried, it didn't work with this Pennsylvania stuff, because no matter who was involved in that Pennsylvania case, we did not want anybody's patches getting taken away because it would be setting precedent. Well, you get these kind of idiots out there, and they wonder why it can start shit between clubs because they're running off at the freaking mouth, not knowing what they're talking about. Because here's what's going to happen. Them feds get a ruling in that case. if they get a favorable ruling to themselves. Next thing you know, it's going to go to appeals, which would be Ninth Circuit, and then depending on what happens there, it'll probably go all the way to the Supreme Court. But can you imagine a government that has the right to just stop somebody on the side of the road and say, hey, give me your patch? Because you know these asshole cops will do it. They've been doing it down in Texas right now, where they're pulling people over and saying, here, I want to take pictures of your tattoos. You know, the profiling the guys. And what they're doing is taking that intelligence in putting it into a BO system, and that's now the way you live in the United States. And that's some shit right there, let me tell you. But that's how ignorant people can really be, is like this Steve Cast. No, not those shit-stained Bondos. So, you know, it's pretty messed up. You're on air.
Hollywood.
Yeah, what's up? Who's this?
Frank from Boston. How you doing?
Frank from Boston. How you doing?
Good, good. Listen, awesome show tonight. Awesome show.
Thanks, buddy.
I know a bunch of people that are riding, that did ride Harleys. They were die-hard Harley riders. And then for the past year or two, at least 4 or 5 of them have gone Indian. And they swear by Indian now. I only know one holdout that still rides Harley. That shows you what Indian is.
You remember,
they are the bike.
You remember in our day, man, in the, what was it, the late 70s, early 80s, man, I was just a young buck. But, you know, the iron heads, the shovel heads and stuff like that, they weren't the best made bikes. But we stuck behind Harley Davidson. And, you know, for them, and am I right or wrong, in the mid-90s is when this rub invasion started. And that's when Harley Davidson, you couldn't even get a bike because you had to order the damn thing because they were buying them out and shit like that. But what is your thoughts as an older biker to how Harley Davidson treats you as a customer?
Well, let me tell you something. I think they get all caught up with the shows in the early 2000s. With Jesse James and those guys in Orange County Chopper, and figuring everybody, the doctors, everything else, the rubs, have plenty of money. They're going to be charging motorcycles. They're going to be selling motorcycles for much more money than what they should be selling them for. And this is because this was the big thing back then. Everybody wanted state-of-the-art motorcycles and everything else, the rubs, and to ride a few miles a year or two, and that's it. And once these shows stopped, that's when the rubs stopped doing the bullshit. And, you know, that's where I think it is. I think Harley Davidson has, let's say, seriously turn this shit around, turn everything to America. Indian's going to take over, and I could see it. I know people, plenty of people that are taking Indian now, and that's it. That's the next bike I'm getting is an Indian. Fuck Harley Davidson, brand new, forget it. Overpriced. They treat you like you're walking into a high-priced store and say, you know what, unless you have a suit on or anything else, you know, I don't even want to be bothered with you. That's the way it is with Harley Davidson. That's the way it is.
Well, exactly, man. It's pretty sad how they started, you know, turning out, you know, and like I said, it started in the 90s when they started that crap, and, you know, it's funny, you know, the CEO, I don't even think he freaking rides a damn bike, but for him to go out there and say, well, it's not about made in America, it's about freedom, bullshit, it's about made in America. It was for me anyway. If it wasn't for that, I'd be riding something else, you know what I mean?
You'd be riding Hondas or or Suzuki's or Kawasaki's or whatever.
Well, some
You know
of
what I
these,
mean?
well, in the old days, some of these Hondas were more American than Harley, man. That was pretty fucked up.
Yeah, right. But I remember going to club parties and, you know, we'd grab a fucking a foreign bike, a Honda or whatever, and pay $10 to take 3 swings with a sledgehammer on that particular bike. You know what I'm saying?
Rock
That's
and roll.
what, you know.
That's
that was
the way
it.
it's the way it was, man. But I really appreciate you calling in, Frank, and we'll see if we got somebody else coming up in the line. I appreciate your viewpoints and everything, and you supporting the show.
All right, man.
Thanks, Frank. See, there you go, guys. It ain't hard to call in on the show. I know a lot of you guys are nervous, but I'll get you through it. But what do you guys think, man? I hate walking into a dealership nowadays. That's why you want to support an independent shop. You know, we got the Tramps that are going to be coming on Saturday with their little things, what they do and shit like that, giving you guys some tech advice. And, you know, because when it comes to wrenching, man, I'm good on the basic, but I got 2 freaking thumbs on everything else. And I cannot keep my patience nowadays with that. That's why I don't like going anything over 01 or a carburetor, because I just can't stand electronics. I'm still at the point where I cannot freaking I can't get past radios, man. I don't know what it is. But who else we got out there that wants to call in? Hey, Robbo, what's up, buddy? Dan, New York, in the house. I'll give it a couple more minutes. If not, we'll end the show on that freaking note. Yeah, it's real interesting. Rock City HD is awesome. Where's that at, Mr. Perfect? And I know you guys, there was a question off of Facebook about Double Barrel. Hopefully he comes back, man. He was busy this year with his stuff because he's a mechanic and stuff like that. So hopefully it's slowing down and he'll come back up. But you're damn right there, man. Save the fucking patch, Sinister. The Indian Adam has Sandoval is freaking sweet. Kim, what's up? You're on air.
What's the haps?
You're on air. Huh? You're on the air. Oh. You're on air. What do you think of Harley?
Don't have much to say.
What do you think about how they're treating blue collar workers and stuff like that? Well, got disconnected. What's up? Anyway, well, I guess that we're gonna end the show on that kind of note. People get nervous, man, when you call up and shit like that. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And thanks for everybody over at Facebook for coming on and all that jive. And if you got a topic you'd like to discuss, let me know. And I'll try to work on it. And thanks for the purchases of the books. I got all those signed ones coming out. I think I sent them, most of them this morning. So if you ordered that. But yeah, what the fuck? Wrong number? I don't know. Anyway, you're about Indian Larry. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate you guys coming on today, man. And I'll talk to you later.